the pandemic is considered to be officially over. And I think it's a smart idea for investors to reflect back upon what's taken place. I always say it's important to evaluate what's happened so you can apply what you've learned. Just like the Blue Angels, they come back after every mission and do a debrief to speak about what went well and what could have gone better. And I would suggest you do this with your own team of financial practitioners. Maybe go back to your financial advisor, your investment advisor, your tax planner, your estate planner, and really reflect upon what has taken place over the last couple of years and how you might be able to improve upon your situation going forward, considering that there might still be some uncertainty up ahead. As you're exploring your financial wellness, especially post-pandemic, I think there are 4 pillars that we can reflect upon on a regular basis. 3 of them are going to sound pretty obvious, and the 4th one I'll suggest is commonly overlooked. Let's go through them one at a time. Number 1 is to really think about your own financial plan. Do you have one in place? When was it updated? What's changed since the pandemic that you might feel differently about today than you did before the pandemic? The second is going to be consider, what about your investment strategy? How might that be positioned differently than it would have in the midst of a roaring bull market before we had seen any market decline for a while? Number 3 is to consider, what about taxes? Because if we know nothing else, we know that the markets go up and they go down, but it's as important to focus on what you keep, not just what you make. And the 4th, commonly overlooked, is going to be, what about the economy and demographics? Is the economy and subjects pertaining to the economy part of the job of your financial advisor or not? It's a valid question, because if you know what we know, is that the economy itself is not something that gets taught upon getting an investment license or upon getting certain financial credentials like financial planner credentials and so forth. So it's commonly overlooked, and a lot of advisors would steer away from having a conversation about the economy whatsoever. But we would suggest that that's a complete oversight, because it's really important to understand the landscape of the environment that we're in today to help you make better decisions going forward. Do we know exactly what's going to happen in the future? Of course not. But there are certain things that you can't argue against, meaning things like demographics. We know that right now there's 79 million baby boomers that are escalating in age. And as a result of that, we might make certain decisions knowing that there's a certain supply and demand in each particular stage of life, for instance. But the key here that I'd like to remind you that is, think about this from a perspective of, what are you doing to keep up to date in terms of the economy? Do you need to become an economist? Of course not. But if you're working with a financial practitioner, it's important for you to at least know that they know what's happening, or for them to be able to update you on certain items so that you can feel more comfortable about what's happening in the world and what that means to you. So if you'd like to request a complimentary consultation to explore reducing your taxes, just go to our website at cradvisors.com, click the request a meeting button at the top right, and we'd love to have a 15-minute conversation with you to see how this might benefit you. Thanks, and make it a great day.